All right, good morning. Happy Friday. It is November 15th. Got a big gap lower this morning on NQ. True gap lower. Let's take a look at our near term chart here. One of the things we had been discussing, let me flip this to the hourly. So, one of the things we've been discussing the past few days, past week or so, is the fact that even though price was within this near term range here, we were taking note of and observing the fact that there was a series of lower highs within the range, right? And one of the points I continued to make was the fact that, all right, if we're going to be treating this like a true range, what we want to see is once price tests the lower portion of the range, once price tests support, you want it to trade up into resistance, right? Pretty basic concept here for range trading. Test support, trade into resistance. Obviously, it's not doing that, right? It was not doing that. And that was definitely a concern. It was telling us that, sellers were able to keep a lid on price with a series of lower highs, even though we still had some support through here. It's a very crooked line, but you get the idea. Some support through here. Now, late day yesterday, we get the break of the near term range. So the structure at play breaks down. The near term structure at play breaks down from neutral to bearish. Should be no surprise that we're gapping lower this morning, right? What I'm going to be looking at this morning, if we zoom out here, still on the hourly chart, I want to see how price is going to be responding to essentially what was the prior breakout point. I'm sure we're all very familiar with this prior range. We spent 6 weeks within that range, right? And so now price is getting back into that breakout point, which is, as far as the structure is concerned, it's pretty normal. You get a breakout. It's not unusual for price to be retesting that breakout point. We want to see if buyers start to show up here. Do we get any sort of buyers stepping in on this prior breakout point? And for that, we'll be wanting to look at higher time frames, right? Hourly candle, 30-minute candle, really seeing, all right, do we have some proof that buyers are stepping in? Or is this going to be a failure in this 785, 700 area and price is just going to trade back within the range? Take a look at the profile as well. You've got that big volume node up here, right? Huge volume void. And then we're back into some larger volume nodes as price gets lower here. So not unusual to see price kind of move swiftly through this area. That's pretty typical with the volume void down below. So again, this morning, just wanting to see, do buyers start to step in anywhere in this area? Or do sellers get the kind of bearish gap and go? Gap lower, can they show the continuation? Gap rules definitely apply this morning, right? I do have the fib here. So this fib is from last week's rally. And down into 700, we do have the 50% fib of last week's rally. So that'll definitely be a significant area. You've got the fib there, as well as the level of interest. If price fails to hold this 785, which is going to be my main watch off the open, we'll probably be looking at a test down into 700. So 785, main watch this morning, especially off the open. Let's see how this starts to shape up and develop. Finally got some decent movement outside of that near-term range. Let's take a look at economic calendar today. We do have a 10 a.m. print. So 10 a.m. business inventories. And that's it for today. This live right now is for Traders Think Tank members only. as a private live. Just FYI. Usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday is members only, and then Tuesday, Thursday, it's public. That's the typical schedule right now. All right, there's the open. So again, looking at 785. Oh, thanks, Dom. I didn't even notice I was on the wrong channel there. Let me fix that really quick. There we go. There's your 5-minute regular trading hours chart. Look at the big gap lower. Huge gap lower. Benny, I saw your post in the think tank 675 level of interest. I'm just lumping that in with 700. It's not going to be that big of a difference. 25 points in a 21,000 point index is just going to be a rounding error, right? So I always treat those levels like zones anyway. So if you have 675, I have 700, that's pretty much going to be the same thing. Close enough. So some weakness off the open here. Price into that overnight low. Even down beneath that overnight low briefly. Again, gap rules apply. I want to see this opening 5-minute bar before getting involved at all. As of right now, sellers stepping in. So most likely, my typical game plan on a morning like this is wait for an upside level to be reclaimed or wait for some intraday market structure shift. Otherwise, wait for 10 a.m. So a lot of waiting. A lot of waiting. Patience, patience, patience. See how that 700 is going to be treated. 700, your next downside level. That's where that 50% fib is as well. So we'll see if buyers are interested at all in that area. First 5-minute bar is closed, quite bearish. Camping on the 5-minute chart, that's a good spot to be. Good spot to be. Don't try and jump in front of the selling. If you're joining the selling, that's one thing, but don't be trying any longs on a little 15-second candle. Here comes 700. 700 level of interest. You have that 50% fib just beneath. I think it's 685, 676. 676. There's 700. Christopher, you okay? Sun stopped shining in Canada, and this guy goes crazy, man. Oh boy, you need another trip to Florida. Benny's in the short. Man, what an animal. Nice work. So looking at the reaction here into 700, see if buyers start to show up. Buyers somewhat responsive so far. Oh, you did the gap and go trade? Nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. What time is it? 10 minutes into the sesh. All right. Still early. We're still early. Under 700, you have the 50% fib right there. So that may draw some buying activity. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. No crystal ball, unfortunately. Yeah, he's praying for those blue skies. Yeah, that's understandable. Understandable. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's a little bit of a bounce there at 700. Gotta love seeing the levels respected in that way. Let's see how this structure continues to build. Still very early, right? So caution still warranted. I'm keeping an eye on this high volume node building out down here as well. We want to see how the structure sets up. Your volume point of control is already at 708. You must be using regular session for it, Benny. It's got to be regular session right there, because that's where my regular session is as well on the 5 minute. 710. Extended is still up here at 818. Oh, your extended is down there? How is that possible? That makes no sense, man. Like what? Something's going on. So 700 failed to hold new lows. Not all that surprising, right? Pre 10 a.m. So again, just looking to see how this structure continues to build out here near 700. Got about 15 minutes still till 10 a.m. As of right now, it's a series of lower highs. I did give it a couple of attempts, but no follow through. Very aggressive trades here. No follow through. This type of action, you need very, very tight management, in my opinion. So, just little samples. It's your Costco sample right there. Costco sample pack. Try it out. See if you like it. I'm a simple man. I see my setup. I take it. So up through 730, you can start to see that intraday change of character. Looking at this level right through here. Intraday structure. Keep an eye on this 5-minute closure as well, 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Yeah, you want the blue arrow low and the orange arrow high, exactly. It's very simple. Nice push here. Here's 730. So this will be a true test for buyers. There we go. 5-minute bar through the prior bar high. Unfortunately, I have no position right now. And overnight low next up. 752. That one went without me. But this is what we like to see at a level of interest. Market participants actually responding to the level. And rolling over there at the overnight low. Still have 10 minutes till 10 a.m. Don't forget we do have a data print at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. data. That looks like a failed change of character so far. Let's see that fib, that intraday fib. Look at that, fib sell zone. That's the D-wall short right there. Probably see him post about that any second. Buyers will be looking for that continuation here to retest the overnight low, a true test of the overnight low. Can they do it? Can they do it? Martin's in there with a runner. Nice. Gotta love when the market is actually moving. Not that garbage chop. Oh my goodness. More sellers showing up there at the 61% fib. That's that fib sell zone. How's our profile looking? Okay, okay. So we got about 7 minutes till 10 a.m. Don't forget data. What we know so far is that the 700 level of interest has held pretty well. Buyers responded there. So now I want to see how the intraday structure continues to build out. May see that volume point of control start to shift here before 10 a.m. even. Got really good volume coming in. Let's see if 700 gets retested here. Trailed your long, Martin. Nice trade. Nice trade. So back near 700. 4 minutes till 10. 4 mins till 10 a.m. And we actually have data today. I'd like to see how this 15-minute bar shapes up. As of right now, has a very big wick above it. But it is just an inside bar so far. Yeah, maybe another 2 minutes here. You'll see this volume point of control shift. Again, buyers looking for 700 to hold. Sellers obviously want to flush the low. Pretty wide ranges on these 5-minute bars here. What are we talking about? 55 points, 50, 60 points. So there's 700. Buyers have any interest? Let's see. Looks like ES making a new low of day. Down below 700. There's your new low. Volume point of control shift now. Yes, sir. There we go. So now the real question is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Sellers step in again pretty heavily in that fib sell zone. Got 1 minute till 10. At this point, I just wait for that 10 a.m. response. There's D-Wall locking his short, as expected. So 30 seconds, still 10. There's more of a minor print, but still some data nonetheless. And again, my focus is on 700 here. Here's 10 a.m. Looks like a nothing print pretty much. There's the underside of 700. So my preference is action above 700 per usual. Next major downside level is the 600 level of interest. Of note, though, this is just that 50% fib right here, 675 for last week's rally. So this zone is still pretty significant. Yeah, 15-minute does not look great at all. New lows. So I'll need to see some intraday change of character or a washout into 600. Until then, like we talked about earlier, it's just a waiting game. For me, anyway. That's through the lens of longs. Sellers in control here. So here's a good visual of that 50% fib. Last week's rally, vertical. There's your high from this Monday and then rollover. But I need some higher time frame candles on my side. So until then, like I said, patience. Patience, patience. Oh, that was interesting. I just noticed this too. Check out the what session is that? Let's see. The big gap from Wednesday, November 6th. The low from that session is right at 648, so that'll be a significant level. Oh man, you guys are funny. There's your new low of day being made. NQ. Fresh lows, fresh lows, fresh lows. Fresh lows. NQ into that regular trading hours gap now. New low right there. New low, nonstop new lows. About 45 minutes into the sesh. We've got multiple time frame misalignment. We've got a big trend lower so far. For me, this is not my tape, not my condition, so I may just be shutting it down shortly here. Got those couple of scalps near 700. Now price pretty much for my system is in no man's land. I'll look at the reaction here at 600. Almost into 600. You didn't fight the trend. Good. Good. Yeah, we got that higher time frame breakdown, so don't want to be fighting this move. Especially when that bounce failed. You got the bounce at 700, you start to see that fail. That's your main clue. Yeah, fresh flows past 10 a.m., especially with acceptance beneath. Typically, I need some sort of 15 or 30-minute reversal just per the framework that I like to follow. So, just looking at this next 15-minute bar opening up here, that's that what I call like stopping power. I'm not going to jump in front of this move lower without some real buyers hitting the tape. So, a big part of trading success, in my opinion, is knowing when conditions are favorable for your system. Not saying there's nothing that is tradable today either, but you got to remember I look at all action through the lens of long. So, plenty of short opportunities today. It's been about 1 year of long only for me. Make a video on that soon. It's been solid though. Been loving it. No plans to change as of right now. No plans. All right, here comes the 600. So this is what I was waiting for. I want to see the reaction here. If there's anything worthwhile, then based on the reaction here, we'll kind of determine whether or not I call it a morning, wait for that late morning, early afternoon session. Pretty limited response there. That's 600. NQ down about 2% on the day. Yeah, that new low of day and then the rejection of 700 post 10 a.m. That's your short entry for a solid 100 points. You in there, Benny? You catch that? Nice trade. Phenomenal. New lows being made down through 600. So that pretty much tells me everything I need to know. No reaction at the downside level of interest. Like I said, need to see some, ideally a 30-minute reversal before I can take any new trade. So we had those couple scalps this morning versus 700. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for jumping in, folks. We'll keep it going in the think tank, but I'm not personally going to be trading until we see that reversal. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a morning. Hope you guys had a good morning. If you have questions, you know where to find me. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.